This is for anybody who wants to do something. Just freaking put yourself out there. Welcome back to another episode of... This is where we explore the habits, the mindset, and the leadership behind extraordinary performance on the island. And today's guest, he's had a unique vantage point of excellence in the real estate industry, and he runs Honolulu Real Producers.
Someone can always show up and be happy and be good when the market is great, when people are buying loans and buying houses, when interest rates are through the roof, right? And you don't want to show up. That's when, the true character of someone comes out. So it's easier potentially for some people to go, I'm only going to give it a B effort or a B plus effort. I'll never find out if I really am that good, but I can also lean back and say, yeah, I could have if I wanted to, but I never really went for it.
Welcome to In Search of Excellence Island Style, powered by the Broker Mortgage Experts. This podcast highlights leaders raising the standard through consistent, values-driven leadership, lived with Aloha.
I remember the day I met you. I think it was before COVID.
Yep.
You came to speak to one of our loan officers over at my last company. And he's, I can't really do this. I don't make enough money or whatever.
Sure.
But this guy, Larry, he may be somebody you can talk to. And you and I, we hit it off like that. And not only from a business standpoint, but truly from a friend standpoint, one of my best friends on island. And I have such tremendous respect for everything that you've done. It's really an honor to have you on the show today. And really, you being able to provide insight on really what makes people excellent, not just in real estate, but in everything that supports real estate too. So Chris, tell me, how did you get involved? Because you're not from Hawaii. You look like you're from Hawaii. You golf like you're from Chicago.
That's
so
right.
how did you get here?
Yeah, before we get into that, first, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here, and I hope you know this. I feel the exact same way about you. Before we started shooting, we're organizing tea time at Ho'akale and then also dinner as well. So
I'm excited.
Thank you for having me. But yeah, Larry, mom was born and raised here, so she was a local girl and then ended up going to school in Chicago, met my dad, and then that's where my sister and I were born and raised 40 years.
And your sister, Kim, she's in Maui.
Maui.
Right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, and what brought you back to Hawaii?
Sister came back in 2008. She's a doctor, so that kind of kept us coming back every Thanksgiving, and sometimes we come back.
Who needs an
summer.
excuse?
That's right. Yeah, not I. So she kept it going, and then my folks, they retired back here in 2017, and so Tanya and I, my wife, we knew that we were going to come eventually. So we just left it up to God and said, hey, we're going to throw our condo on the market. And if it sells, we're going. And it sold.
It's sold.
Yeah.
And Tanya, that's the one classy lady you got. I don't know how the heck you got her, but she's amazing. How'd you meet Tanya?
Through our company.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So just through a conference, and she's from Charlotte. So she's a Southern belle. And we did the long distance thing for about a year and a half. And then something had to give. She always wanted to live in a big city. I was running our trainings in Chicago. So it just worked out.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
So you work with some of the top agents. You've interviewed really most of the top agents on island. What separates the best from the rest? What is one thing all the top producers have in common?
So if you look at the last 6 or 7 years, right? People navigating through COVID, people navigating with technology, I would probably say that people being able to adapt and pivot very quickly has been crucial. And some of the folks that I don't know that I'd say they're set in their own ways, but they're not hey, this is the way I always did it. This is the way I'm always going to do it. And that's it. I really see some of those individuals struggle from time to time. And then I would also say just the people that I've really seen flourish, Larry, is those that just value relationships. And I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I think a lot of people think relationships, it's tongue in cheek or just, oh yeah, I really care about my clients. But like the ones that really do and go above and beyond.
Well, you talk about the tenets of excellence from that I sent you. Build Ohana, really build that family type experience with each of your clients and then the people you work with. I think that to me is what I enjoy the most. It's not, okay, I just helped this family buy a home. We help this family. There's a whole group of people involved in that process.
Yeah.
You have a home inspector, you have the realtor, you have the title company.
Yeah.
You have the stagers who support, you have the photographers who support there's so many people. And when we sell one home, whether you're buying or selling, there's a lot of people involved in that. And that's where that relationship piece comes in.
Totally.
So do you think it's a skill? Is it mindset? Is it discipline? Or is it something even deeper than that?
I think it's probably a little bit of all of it, but if I had to pin one thing, I would simply say it's discipline. I think there's a lot of people that say that they'll work hard. I think a lot of people want to work hard, but when push comes to shove, they really don't.
What are they working on, though? That's the thing. Is it something that's going to build your business, or is it just something that's going to keep you busy?
Yeah.
And I do see a lot of that.
Sure.
You know, who they have this great CRM, they spend this money on this tech, but they don't make the phone call. They're doing everything but making the phone call or following up with the email or answering the text. We won't talk about how many texts are on my phone right now. Those are that's all spam.
Right.
I answer
think so.
everybody except sometimes maybe my
Handful.
wife. Yeah, sometimes.
All right.
So really the spoiler, I think, for excellence is it's discipline. It's not being lazy. And for me, I've never been afraid to fail. I've tried so many different things and I fall down, but I keep getting back up. Sometimes things work. We've done a few different things that haven't worked, but you know what? Hey, it's just part of the process.
Sure.
And you're going to do that, I think. When you're trying to get better, you got to get out of your comfort zone. And the agents that have grown through COVID, I think, and you tell me what you think, have gotten out of their comfort zone and trying new things.
Yeah, I would agree. You and I, right before this, we were talking about AI and Claude, and we're probably going to give something a run and it's probably going to fail. And then you just pivot and you move on and you learn from it.
Yeah, and AI, you do that as well. You do that with AI. You try something and it doesn't work and you just keep doing it until you get, because it's so smart. It's going to get you the answer. You just got to ask it the right question and reframe it. And you don't have to be perfect with it.
Sure.
You just use your own language and it helps you formulate really the question or whatever it is that you're trying to make.
Yeah.
Which has been pretty nice. Like for refinances, I created this calculator, this AI calculator that I put in the information and it spits out basically, here's how much you're going to save, here's the recoup time, here's what your total savings is over the course of I just put that in the Perplexity and it did it. So
nice.
So I would say excellence, it's a standard, not a slogan. It's like motivation. It doesn't do anything. It's the discipline. It's a standard. It's the standards that we set day in and day out. What are some of the disciplines that you've seen realtors have that have helped them be successful transitioning through the various real estate markets that we've had?
Yeah, I think I would say putting clients first, Larry, and then really showing that. So as an example, I was actually on the phone earlier today with Eric Taniguchi, and we have plans next week. And he's, hey, Chris, sorry, I have a broker's open. Trust me, I'd rather play golf. Trust me, I'd rather do this. But because of the weather, we had to push it 2-3 weeks. And so now we got to have it at this date, sacrificing his potential happiness or lifestyle for, look, we got to get this house on the market.
Eric is great. Eric was supposed to be on the podcast a while ago, but I think I was traveling or the weather was bad. That was when the flooding started. And so I got to get him back on.
Okay.
But a tremendous amount of respect. Eric, he's one of those guys who's done it right. And I remember Eric, he's Keller Williams, and that's maybe 3-4 years ago, maybe longer than that now. We've been doing it for a while.
Okay.
But he was training new agents at the Keller Williams in town. And he was up on the stage and he was talking about door knocking. He was talking about,
which they still, I don't know about door knocking, but they still cold call.
They do, and the cold calling.
Yeah.
And that new agents were in there. They're like, they actually knock on doors?
Sure.
Wait, they actually call people?
Yeah.
It was funny, because I'm like in the back kind of watching. And he was up there with Dan Lucarello, who's his buyer's agent.
Yep.
And they're talking about it, and the new agents were like, I would say probably none of them are in the industry because they weren't willing to even do anything like that. They just, and remember during COVID, the beginning of COVID, when homes, you just put that real estate thing in the dirt, and boom, your house was in escrow. They were going that quickly. People would they just assume it's always like this.
Sure.
And it really is. The same way a lot of people came in the lending industry.
And mortgage.
And now they're gone.
Yeah.
But to me, Eric that's one of those standard bearers for excellence. What else do you see? Well, let's talk about Eric a little bit. What else do you see with Eric? Things that he and his team have done that have really separated them. Because it's like Pareto's law, 20% of the realtors do 80% of the business. I would say it's 10% do 90% of the business. But what kind of things that Eric and his team do that really sets them apart?
So I know this year, and so we featured Eric very early, probably 2020, and then we just did a refeature. Where are they now? And in his article, he talked about really leaning into social media, leaning into what makes them different now. But what's fascinating, going back to your point earlier, is I think as great as social media is, sometimes it can present false hope, or this is easier than it is. Oh, I'll just jump on, and I'm a realtor in Hawaii and I'm going to get flooded with clients. And yes, it does work for some people. And a lot of the realtors, they will say, hey, but I don't think that's the bread and butter. I don't think that is the sole way maybe to be successful.
I don't think it is at all.
Yeah.
It's important. It's one facet.
Sure.
So when I started doing social media, I think it was my second year in, I hired my daughter to do my social media, to get me out there on social media. And a lot of other people started doing it, but we were consistent. And we did it nonstop. We came up with a social media calendar.
Yeah.
And where other people would start, they would say, just didn't have the staying power.
Yeah.
But if I hadn't done all the relational things, all that stuff like I see people dancing and doing goofy videos, that's not going to get, I guess it might a little bit, but really, what is your content that you're putting out?
Sure.
Are you educating others? Are you talking about the difference that you're making in people's lives? Again, you bring that relationship to life on social media. And I think Eric is doing that. And I think that's what he's focusing on. But his level of service to his clients, though, is still the number one thing. And I will argue with him on that all day. Social media helps. And social media, I get social media leads every week now. And it's funny, they watch my YouTube videos. Like they've watched my YouTube videos from years ago. But they made an impact. And when it was time for them to move, they were like, hey, we love your content.
Yeah.
We love how you educate. And that's what has made the difference. And I've never stopped.
Well, I will say that I think your content, I think it's super valuable. But if I had to say, is Larry consistent? Does he do things over and over again? Absolutely. And to your point, so if you think when we moved here, no one knew what Real Producers was. No one knew who I was, and they shouldn't. And so the gal that was training me, she was like, do something every day. So if I'm meeting with you, shoot a story and go, hey, I'm just potential preferred partner, Larry Gonzales that's it. And so then the agents in the real estate community, eventually it was like, who is this guy? Why does he have a photo with Eric?
Why do I want to be in Honolulu Real Producers? Because it's a big deal. You make it a big deal, and people want to be part of a big deal. And I remember you had the first real big party.
We did.
And
I hope it's okay to call it the super spreader.
We were definitely super spreading. That was so much fun.
It was a super spreader.
Oh my God,
for sure.
That was such a blast.
Oh my gosh.
And if realtors like to do anything, it's like they like to party.
They do.
And that was a very good time.
Yeah.
But that was like the first one. It was like this.
It was.
That was the winter of 2020.
Winter of 2020.
Yeah.
And everyone was still 5 to a table. Remember those days? Five to a table.
Can you believe we were wearing masks as long as we were?
Can you imagine we did what we did? Like how many times they went back and forth from like 5 to a table, 10 to a table. Nope, totally shut down. You guys might have. We got tickets on the beach.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
Yeah, you couldn't. I remember. So you couldn't even park at the beach.
No.
Like I had a bike. I had a bike and I had a surf rack, and I would ride my surfboard down to the beach, and I couldn't hang out on the beach. I had to go right in the water. And then when I was done, I had to come right back out, and I had to go clean my board and go ride my bike home. You couldn't even sit.
No, couldn't do it.
Thank God we're done with that. We're going to take a break real quick. We're going to come right back. We're going to talk about some more things that some of the top agents are doing. And really, where do you see, we'll talk a little bit about where Honolulu Real Producers is going and what is going to make it even better, because I think we're at that next step. Yeah. So we'll talk about that once we hear from one of our sponsors.
Okay.
This episode of In Search of Excellence Island Style is powered by the Broker Mortgage Experts. If you're building wealth, creating stability, or planning your next real estate move, you need strategy, not just rates. The Broker Mortgage Experts are committed to helping families and investors build strong financial foundations through expert guidance and personalized mortgage solutions. Excellence starts with the right foundation. Connect with the Broker Mortgage Experts today.
So we're back with Chris Wirsing from Honolulu Real Producers, and you've seen some great realtors show up and then disappear. What happens? How do realtors self-sabotage them? So they experience some success and then all of a sudden they disappear. Where do you see them self-sabotage?
Yeah, I think, and I could even say, Larry, in my own life, right? I think there's a little level of fear in actually putting yourself out there, actually going for it, and then failing. So it's easier potentially for some people to go, I'm only going to give it a B effort or a B plus effort. I'll never find out if I really am that good, but I can also lean back and say, yeah, I could have if I wanted to, but I never really went for it. So I think it's a crutch for people.
Yeah, that's funny. I see that a lot. And I think we talked a little bit about that. The other thing is they burn out. They try and do everything themselves. And I'm not a big fan of doing everything myself. There's some things that as a loan officer that I don't like to do. And if I could pay somebody else to do it so that I could go get into my creative, my genius zone, I'm going to do that. And that's why one of the reasons why I've developed a team to do those things, because I like social media, but I'm not good at social media. But I got a team that's really good at social media, and they do all that posting and stuff, and they make it very easy for me.
Yeah.
And it looks like I'm on every day. And literally, my team, I have a virtual assistant in the Philippines, and Jade, our client relations specialist and biz dev person, who's amazing. She keeps them in line, and really the collaborative effort between really the three of us to make all that work. And one of the great things I think about in the broker is we'll do that for all of our loan officers. They all have that opportunity to build their social media content, to shoot videos. We have them on the podcast. But a lot of agents, they try and do everything themselves. So the experience won't be the same if I don't do everything for my clients.
Yeah.
I'm like, actually, it might get
Probably
better.
better.
It might be better.
Yeah.
And so I see a lot of people burn out. And then they don't want to, or maybe they got really good at social media, but it took so much of their time, they're like, got burnt out.
Yeah.
That's where you get other people who are good at that. I learned that real early. Again, I hired my daughter. She was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I had a guy, Gabe. He was an internship. He was going to majoring in communications or marketing or something. And he actually, I love this about this kid. And he's working in the defense industry now. He came up to me at a Christmas party. This is for anybody who wants to do something. Just freaking put yourself out there. He comes up to me at a Christmas party. And Gabe Ramirez, I freaking love you, man. He's shaking. Actually, his mom comes up to me. She's like, hey, my son really wants to talk to you. He made this video for you.
Wow.
And he wants to work for you.
Yeah.
And I had just been doing this stuff on YouTube. And he's shaking, and he shows me this video that he did. And it was, I had talked about excellence, and I was talking about Roger Staubach.
Okay.
And he put together this video that talked about excellence and Roger Staubach. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
This is freaking great.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was afraid, but he did it. You know what? And that opened the door for him.
Nice.
And you put yourself out there. You manifest these things, and that's what he did. And he helped me, as well as my daughter, to really grow the business. And then at our last company, we had a really robust marketing department, a great marketing department. And Jade was a part of that. And it was funny. They used to call it the Larry Show because I was the only person who would use them. The Larry Show.
The Larry Show.
It sometimes.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And they would do it because I was the only one asking them to do things. And I'm like, you have all of this resources and use them. And I tell you, and that's one of the reasons why Jade and I got along so great is she knows me. She knows me better than I know me sometimes, which is very scary.
I couldn't agree more with you. Going way back when, I think a principle that I adopted early on is to never do $10 an hour work. So if you can pay someone to do those types of things, and to your point earlier, Larry, yes, the agent might be able to do it. And even if it's fractionally better than paying someone else, they do it disgruntled. I'll just do it and I'll muscle my way through it. Where if you paid someone that likes to do it, that's excited about it, they're going to do a far better job than you are. And you're going to save yourself time and you're going to save yourself money.
Absolutely. And I tell you, this is so important, Chris. You list all the things that a realtor does or a lender does, list them all out. And then you write down, all right, what are the things that I love to do that I'm really good at and what makes me money? Where all those three intersect, that's
Spend
what
time.
you need to do. All that
Everything
other
else?
stuff,
Yep.
get somebody else to do it. And I learned that through a coaching club I was in. And I hired my first loan officer assistant and I started unloading things on that she would do. And then I hired my daughter and there was things that she did. So I was getting it down to those things that I loved to do, that I was good at, and that made me money.
Yeah.
And now I try and that's all I really
there.
try and work on and have somebody else doing all that stuff. And people are like, how do you pay them? I pay them because it allows me to bring in more business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've talked to loan officers like, I don't want to pay anybody else.
Yeah.
If you hire one person, that should get you 3 to 4 more loans. You're paying them $5,000 a month or whatever. To get you 3 more loans, it's going to make you another $20,000.
Sure.
Is it worth it? Absolutely. The thing with being a realtor, you can't be cheap. And I tell you, you learn a lot. One of the guys I work for, I was on his team. I didn't want to be on his team, but I learned so much from him being on his team. He was like, Larry, you got to spend money to make money. And I was like, I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to him. I learned a lot from this gentleman, but it's so true. You do got to, don't be cheap. All right. Cheap shows.
Yeah.
You see that.
Yeah.
It's not the way you dress. It's just how you present yourself, how you treat people. Don't be cheap.
Yeah.
So really, Hawaii, you've been here for a few years. You're not from Hawaii. You're from Chicago. What makes Hawaii different?
Yeah, great question. And we launch franchises all over the country. And we like to say every market is the same. Every market, it's not special. It's not unique. And I agree with that to a certain extent. But I will tell you, one of the things that coming out here, we thought that we knew, right? Because we've been out here 20, 30 times. And you talk about relationships. In a big market like Chicago, you could burn through, let's say, some leads or relationships. And you could always call more roofers. You could always call more landscapers. But here, not only is it smaller, but then it's also, you're on an island. And people would say, oh, everybody knows everybody. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But
Everybody knows. Relationships matter here more than I think
more than anywhere else. Yep. Yeah,
and
that's what I was going to say.
You can totally get lost on the mainland, some of the big areas. We have the broker in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
They've made a very good inroads, use it through, not Honolulu, the Hampton Roads.
Yep.
Real Producers. But relationships are so important here. And it's not just with your realtors and your clients, but it's with the termite guy. And if a termite guy does a bad job, everybody knows about it.
Yep.
You got a home inspector who screws the pooch on one. Everyone makes a mistake, but they do 2, and then they don't take ownership. Done.
Yeah.
So it's so important that you value your relationships are gold in Oahu.
Sure. Yeah.
So do you think excellence looks a little different here than, say, Chicago?
I think so.
How?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you're in a Chicago or a major market, I think that you can do things, and I don't want to say like half-ass, but you can get away with doing maybe a mediocre job, and the spotlight isn't shining on you. Where, to your point, if you're here and the termite guy, the home, and you do a poor job or really mess something up, some other people are probably going to hear about it.
And if you do, and again, you're going to make a mistake.
Everyone is, yeah.
Take ownership.
That's it.
Extreme ownership. Our Jocko, one of a great book. But take ownership.
Yep.
Because if you don't, again, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt, and you're going to be toast. So super important. So what mistakes do you see newer agents make when they're starting out in Hawaii?
We talked about social media, right? I think they see highly successful agents and they're just like, oh, social media is easy. That's how I'm going to get all of my business. And then the other thing I would say is really underestimating the challenge, right? Underestimating the task at hand. That they see the Mark Youngs, the Erics, the Aaron Evans, and they think like it's an overnight success, where you ask those people how many years and multiple years they struggled, they persevered, they got beat down, and they had a down year, but they still recover. And it's not a straight line, right? It's this and then, oh, this and then, oh, okay, up here. And can you handle those emotional swings as well?
Those three people you just mentioned, three people give me, I think of a three-letter acronym, PMA, positive mental attitude.
Yeah.
You never see them dissing other people in public. You never see them. Everyone's got those moments where they're pissed off or they're not happy with something, but you never see that. Yeah. They are so positive. All three of those people you just mentioned. And I think that's important too, because you're going to have tough markets. I think today's market, I'm not complaining. It is what it is. But you know what? It's not an easy market. How do you show up on the bad days?
Yeah.
How do you show up in the bad times when things aren't always going your way? Yeah. Are you consistent? And I think those three are consistent with that.
It really is a true test of someone's character. It's like someone can always show up and be happy and be good when the market is great. When people are buying loans and buying houses, it's easy to show up then. Yeah. Hey, when interest rates are through the roof, right, and you don't want to show up, that's when, the true character of someone comes out.
And I think the other thing too, and I've seen this with some folks, is don't be desperate. People smell, they feel the desperation.
Yeah.
And yeah, people are struggling, but don't show it. And you show it by really trying to sell. You got to buy this house. You got to work with me. I got the lowest rates.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody's got the lowest rates. You never have the lowest rates.
Yeah.
Well, you can always, somebody's always willing to take less commission. I only charge $500 a transaction. There's always going to be somebody who's going to charge less.
Yeah.
That's what you're selling, you're desperate.
Yeah.
There's better things to sell. Education, super big. I'm all about education. And I think the good realtors the good people in this industry are all about education. Personally, since I've said termite like 3 times, termites, people should talk about termite stuff. What is ground treatment? That's pretty important stuff. If I was trying to get people's business and I'm a termite dude, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about ground treatment. I'm talking about there looks like some damage. What do we need? Do we need an engineer to come out and take a look? Go through that stuff, man. I'm going to go become a termite guy now.
You are.
I am.
All right.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm way too lazy. I don't even want I just want to golf and do loans, man.
Let's do it.
But seriously, there's so many things you could do to educate and make a positive difference. Having a positive mental attitude, even in the toughest times, I think is so important to your success in any industry.
Right.
Because that's where you show your true color. You really do. When you're bitching and moaning about stuff all the time, that ain't going to work. And everyone's going to see it. And nobody wants to be around that kind of person.
I know.
And it's like me on the golf course when I'm having a bad day.
That doesn't happen, though.
Not when I'm with you. Never a bad day on the course.
When you're taking my money, never a bad day on the course. That's right.
Oh, man. So, Chris, we've been at this, it's hard to believe, 6 years.
Crazy.
Honolulu Real Producers. And we look younger now.
I think so.
No, not even close. And I just renewed, and I've seen some of the vendors come and go. What does that say about the product that you're delivering that so many people, because I know several people have renewed. Some of my top business partners and friends are in this industry. We're talking Troy Watt, I'm talking Dana Rita.
Yeah.
Some great people. Why do you think they are in Honolulu Real Producers? And what do you see with Honolulu Real Producers going forward?
Yeah, it's a great question. And first off, thank you for your partnership. And Larry, thank you for your friendship. One of the things I think that's extremely neat in terms of what we've built is when we started, we really tried to build a business that was built to last. It wasn't, hey, can we do this for a couple years, make some money, and then go do something else? And one of the things that we're very proud of, and it ties into what we talked about earlier, is we had a big renewal cycle where 10 of our partners or advertisers, they were up for renewal, and they've been with us for 6 years. So you look at things, and I guess to a certain extent, I could understand if someone, maybe even yourself, was like, yeah, we've done this. It's been a good run. I'm going to take my money and, put it somewhere else. But I think it goes with, are you here for the long term? Do you care about your clients long term? And like I said, create a business that is really built to last through the ups and the downs.
And you want to be around good people. And what's the saying? You are the product of the 5 people you hang around with. Birds of a feather flock together. Why? Because they're going in the same direction. The people who are in Honolulu Real Producers, they are going in the same direction.
They're great.
They are chasing greatness. They're really trying to make a difference. And again, you were like the Pied Piper through Honolulu with Honolulu Real Producers, really raising the bar for excellence in the real estate industry.
Thank you, man. Yeah. And I tell people, yes, do we have amazing agents that we work with? Certainly. I would say equally, our preferred partners are absolutely impressive. And what you said, they're just great people. You, me, Troy, Danny, like we all hang out, right?
I still think there are too many lenders.
And that's a wrap. No.
Get rid of all the lenders, please. You need one really good one. No, I'm kidding. Actually, some of them are all right. They're okay. Yeah. All right, so we're going to do some quick hitters. Okay. I'm going to just one word or a quick phrase, and you tell me first that comes to mind. Okay. Excellence means?
Greatness.
Greatness. All right. Ollie, greatness?
Like Ollie, greatness. Yeah.
All right. Success without integrity is?
Not success.
It is not success at all.
No, it is not success.
Have you seen that in the real estate? It's funny. Realtors have the worst reputation.
Yeah.
Nobody trusts realtors. You know who has an even worse reputation?
Lenders.
I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah,
with millennials, with Gen Z, least trusted people are lenders.
Yeah.
And realtors are number 2.
They're right there.
Success without, okay. The best investment an agent can make is?
Education.
Education. What do you mean by education?
I think genuinely learning the market, the trends, and not just being able to speak about it. I think genuine intelligence.
I would say, I agree with you. Educating themselves. Actually know how to read your contract. Know your customer. You know your client. In Hawaii, there's a lot of veterans. Get the MRP, but don't just get the MRP. I got you see all these different acronyms, CRS, MRP, all these, ABCs. But actually learn about veterans and what does it mean to PCS? And then serve. Serve in your community. Your business, your best business, it's not going to come from lead gen via Zillow, Redfin, or whoever. It's going to be your sphere of influence. And I don't advertise. I don't go around saying, hey, I'm a loan officer. I've never really done that. But I'm always wearing stuff that says the bro, whatever my company was. And I don't go up to you and say, hey, how you doing? It's like that cartoon, those dudes in the urinal who go up, hey, you want to buy a home? That's not what I do. But in the course of conversations, like I'm asking people, hey, how you doing? Sure. What's going on? And they know me because of social media, whatever. Yeah. And they start talking about lending. Or I ask them, hey, what are you up to these days? What are you doing, Larry? It's funny you should mention I'm a lender. Yeah. But then you just do that. I think you do it through service. What do you like? For me, I was in Boy Scout. I was heavily involved in it. I love that. I do a lot of different things with regards to nonprofits. Building the tiny homes with U.S. vets, we did that. Cleaning up the ancient fish ponds in Westlock in Malama Pualoa. Doing those things within the community. Ho'ola Napua up on the North Shore. Aaron Evans is really big, and there's several other realtors who are really big in that. But get involved in your community. It's not just about making money. It's about making a difference in your community. So if you're an agent, to me, it's
give back.
Give back. The biggest lie struggling agents tell themselves
is that their situation is different or their situation is special or unique, and that's why they're not successful. Yeah. So I guess I would say not taking ownership. I was having that conversation this morning with someone. It's, look, just own your results. Like you're getting results, and the common denominator is you.
Yeah. Yeah. The market doesn't suck. You suck.
Right.
Because every day a home is bought and sold. I look at the reports every month, and there's like a couple hundred sales every month, and I'm like,
someone's selling them.
Someone's doing something right. They ain't all cash.
Right.
And a realtor, they still need a realtor. No excuses, man. You always look at the person looking back at you in the mirror, and there's your excuse.
There's your answer.
And there's your answer. If every agent did this one thing daily, their production would rise. Work with Larry Gonzales. Pass. No, seriously. What daily discipline do you think every realtor should do to be successful?
Oh, I mean, this isn't just a realtor, but I would say it's an oldie but a goodie. Is if you just, before you went to bed at night, you had a note card and you jotted down the 3 most important things you must do tomorrow. And if you've done those 3 things, you've won the day. I think you're going to have a pretty good day.
I agree. I think if you wake up and you have no idea what you're doing that day, you've lost.
Totally.
So for me, I call at the end of the day, at my last hour is from 7 to 8. It's called clear the mechanism. It's like you're cleaning your gun.
Yeah.
You're making sure. So I'm answering my emails. I'm clearing out my email box, not my text box, but clearing out my emails and then making sure my calendar for tomorrow is set so that, all right, I go to bed knowing that I'm getting up at 4 a.m. I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to read my book. I'm going to do this for my workout. I'm going to go surf or whatever it is I'm doing for my workout in the morning because try and work out every day. And then I got my meetings. And being in Hawaii, it's pretty tough when you have a lot of, like I do educational stuff. Big Covey fan, Sharpen the Sword, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Every day I have an hour of Sharpen the Sword. Every day I'm spending some time getting better at my craft. And it could be my CRM. It could be finances. It could be a different loan product. But every day but where is that going to fit so I don't miss out on that? And what meetings do I have that I need to prep for in the morning? Because in my morning, I have an hour and a half. I call it my lock and load. Yeah. After I've worked out, that's when I got to make sure that I'm prepared for that meeting or that seminar that I'm doing or the pitch that I'm doing in the afternoon. So but setting yourself up for success starts the night before. Same thing with starting the week. You do not go into Monday not knowing what your week is going to be. Like for me, my Sunday, and sometimes I'll do it on Saturday, my Sunday is spent making sure all my ducks are in a row for the week. What are the big movers that have to be taken care of that I need to be ready for so that they don't just come up on me and slap me in the face?
It's funny that you say that, and this is going back to when we were launching the franchise here. Every Sunday night, I would ask Tanya, I would say, hey, can you take the dog? Can you go down to the beach? Can you watch sunset? Because I took 2.5, 3 hours to plan out that full entire week. And that was when we were really dialed in. One of the things I want to highlight, Larry, when you just set it off the cuff, but you're like, I wake up at 4 a.m. Now, people don't have to wake up at 4 a.m., but what I would encourage is whatever time you wake up, if it's 6 and you feel like you're behind, set your alarm just 30 minutes earlier. You're not going to miss that 30 minutes of sleep. So get up earlier, take that 30 minutes. If it is reading the Bible, if it is planning, if it's doing meditation, if it's doing devotions, but take that 30 minutes. It's 2.5 hours a week, and your week will infinitely be better.
Yeah, people, when I say 4 o'clock, some people say, oh, I can't do it. And they tune me out immediately. That's okay. Maybe it's a half hour earlier.
Yeah.
Just try that. And then maybe it's an hour earlier. It's baby steps. Just take the steps. and don't pick up the phone and start scrolling right
That's
away.
it.
Don't stay off of that phone. And I have a hard time with that, but more often than not, I'm not on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, not doing any of that until, and I'm not looking at my email. The email is the biggest trap. You start working and then you get yourself in the right frame of mind. You go downstairs, drink some water.
Yeah.
I do my AG1 and I have a cup of mushroom coffee. And then I start reading but don't get
On the phone.
Don't get on that phone.
Yeah.
And that will derail you quicker than really anything else. And then you might as well have slept in another hour because you just wasted it and you didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
I tell you, Chris, anything before we end this? Dude, it's great seeing you again, man. I'm so excited. Cinco de Trinco. We're gonna golf a little and have a good time. But it's been awesome having you. Anything for the crowd?
I just want to thank you, like I said, for your friendship, for your partnership. Thank you for having me. And I consider you a dear friend and one of my best friends on the island. I consider myself lucky and blessed.
Amen, brother.
To know you.
Hey, you know what? Success, it's not random, all right? It's not luck. It's not timing. It's showing up every day to being excellent in everything you do, whether it's work, family, friendship. Do those three things. With those three things, it's excellence, standards. Do it every day. Have a great week. Aloha.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in to In Search of Excellence Island Style. Stay connected for more conversations with leaders raising the standard through purpose, values, and aloha.